Story 1. Was I wrong to call the police on my nightmare neighbor? I've lived in my apartment for 4 years, and until recently it was quiet, predictable, and honestly pretty boring. That changed when my new neighbor moved in 3 months ago. From day one, it was chaos. He blasted music at 2 a.m., smoked inside so heavily the smell seeped into my unit, and constantly left trash bags outside his door. I tried to be patient. Everyone deserves time to settle in. But it kept escalating. He started having loud arguments on speakerphone, pacing the hallway while yelling at whoever was on the other end. He'd slam doors, curse at anyone who walked past, and once even kicked my doormat because it was too close to his door. I talked to him twice, politely, and both times he told me to mind my own business. I reported him to building management. They said they'd handle it, but nothing changed. In fact, he seemed to get worse. One night he pounded on my door at 1 a.m. because he thought I was spying on him. I didn't even know what he meant. I didn't open the door. The final straw happened last week. I came home to find him screaming in the hallway, throwing empty beer cans, and punching the wall. When he noticed me, he stepped toward me and said, "You better stop messing with me." I locked myself inside and called the non-emergency police line. They sent officers who talked to him and gave him a warning. Now other neighbors are upset with me. They say I escalated things and should have let the building deal with it. One even said I put a target on all of us. I get it. Police involvement can be serious. But I genuinely felt unsafe. So now I'm wondering, am I wrong for reporting my neighbor to the police after months of dealing with him, considering it's upset the other neighbors? Story 2. I faked my resume and now I'm in trouble. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. Since I started high school, my parents stopped checking in on my grades, and their mentality was basically, we don't care as long as you get into a good university. And they've carried on this mentality to when I got into college, and they didn't really check on my grades and gave me free rein as long as I majored in the subject they wanted and graduated on time with good grades. Well, basically what happened was that I failed my first year and had to switch my major. I didn't tell them and they didn't ask, so I thought, as long as I was organized and not drop out, I'll be fine. One day out of the blue last semester, my dad asked me to write up a resume. I panicked and wrote up a resume, but changed the GPA and major and made up some qualifications and thought I saved myself. Well, this winter break, my dad dropped it on me and told me he knows people in a big company, he gave them my resume and everything, and wanted me to intern there. So I am in trouble. They'll probably figure it out and let my dad know, and I'll probably get disowned or something. And best case scenario, they don't check and give me the job, and I have to live with the guilt that I got a job that I didn't deserve cause of nepotism. This is depressing. And I'm typically an easygoing guy, but this whole ordeal is giving me anxiety like nothing else. I feel bad for failing and lying to my family about it, and now I'm on the verge of being blown. And I thought maybe making a post here will make me feel better, but I honestly don't know. Edit. Wow, this is blown up. Some of you tell me to play it off and fake it till I make it. Some of you tell me to come clean. Some tell me to just disassociate from my family and do my own thing. It seems Reddit is just as conflicted as I am. I don't know what I'll do, but I just want to say thank you to all that took the time to read and comment. I appreciate all the comments, even the harsh and brutally honest ones. Comment. You've got a lot of growing up to do, but if I can give you some advice that helps, just play it off. The only kinds of internships that will check the veracity of a transcript are ones that are offering paid jobs or law firms offering vacation schemes. The fact you got the internship through your father makes it almost completely unlikely they'll check the truthfulness of your CV. It would be cheeky to do so. They are not giving you the internship because you have impressed them with your CV. They're giving you it because of your dad. It's not about you. Final story. Am I wrong for refusing to sell my childhood Pokemon cards, even though market rate is at an all-time high? This is a disagreement between myself, 28 female, and my oldest brother. I am a very sentimental, materialistic person. I love vintage toys and have multiple collections. I have casually but consistently collected Pokemon cards since I was 6. I have 23 binders of cards ranging from base set to Evolving Skies. The binders are not completely full, as I leave empty slots for cards I'm missing. My oldest brother suddenly contacted me about getting my cards graded or appraised and selling them because the market rate is at an all-time high. No dip, it's the 30th anniversary. I immediately said, I'm not interested. Our mother backed me up. He called/texted a few times to explain it to me. The thing is, he's convinced I'm sitting on a gold mine, that my collection would be worth like $500,000. I don't think that's accurate, and I definitely can't afford to get my whole collection graded. I also don't feel comfortable with shipping my cards to a grading company. However, I'm in debt and actively saving for a new car. My younger brother said if someone can get any substantial amount of money for a piece of cardboard, then it's a good deal. I just know I'd regret it though. Am I being selfish? Am I ignoring the logical choice in favor of nostalgia? Am I wrong for not wanting to sell my childhood cards, even though it could potentially greatly improve my financial status? Comment. First off, the biggest grading company has a hold on accepting new cards to grade because there is a months-long backlog. Second, you're right, it costs big time to get your cards graded. So if you do not have the thousands to drop to grade the good cards you got, grading wouldn't be worth it. You could get one of those card value apps and check the market value by scanning the cards with your phone's camera. It takes a couple seconds per card. You might have some $100 cards and just sell some of those to put money into your car fund at like local shops or online. That way you're not wasting money, nor are you surrendering your childhood entirely. Comment. Maybe take an inventory and see what your rarest cards could be worth. If it's a life-changing amount, maybe your point of view changes. Or maybe you get the rarest ones graded and then secure them to prevent theft or damage. I get the sentimentality, but you may have enough to buy a house or put away for retirement. At your age, compounding difference could get you retired in your 50s. Thanks for listening. Would you sell your childhood memories for the right price? Tell us your thoughts in the comment.